What if desire is your new resume? What if the currency of the future isn't your skills, but your seduction? Not your education, not your resume, but your reach, your allure, your erotic capital. In the world we're building now, visibility is value, and intimacy, it's monetized. Welcome to the economy of desire, where temptation isn't a side effect of fame. It's a strategy. Platforms like OnlyFans didn't just erupt corn. They redefined performance. They blurred the lines between work and want, content and connection, branding and bearing. It started as something taboo. Now it's a business model, a career path, a launch pad. Today, a girl can open an account at midnight, post a few images by morning, and by evening, be told she is empowered, commodified, exploited, liberated, all at once. But let's be clear, this isn't just about women, it's about the era we're entering, where magnetic appeal is a resume bullet point, where intimacy is scalable, where fantasy is strategic. What does it mean when a beauty brand partners with an OnlyFans creator as their ambassador? When a lingerie campaign doesn't live on billboards, but in the DM of inbox of million strangers? It means the boundaries are gone. It means erotic identity is no longer backstage. It's front and center, it's clickable, and for the right price, subscribable. And what's really happening here? We've turned the private into product, the tease into tech, the body into branding, and maybe we always have. Marilyn did it, Pamela did it, but they didn't own the platform. They were curated, mediated. Now creators are CEOs of their own seduction. Control has shifted, that's a pitch, but the question is, what's the cost? Because yes, OnlyFans has minted millionaires, yes, the desire has gone direct to consumers, some women are calling the shots, but the average creator makes less than $100 a month, and still millions join. Why? Because desire is powerful, because validation feels like money, because attention feels like love. And in a lonely, fame-hungry world, OnlyFans offers a shortcut to relevance, to income, to a version of power that looks like control, but often depends on being watched. We used to say, don't sell yourself short. Now we say, sell yourself smart. But let's step back. This isn't about shame, and it's not about praise. This is not moral panic or moral applause. This is an X-ray of where we headed. Because if OnlyFans is the platform, the culture is the product. And right now, the culture says, seduce first, explain later. Package the self, turn vulnerability into visibility. So what happens to dating when desire becomes transactional? When magnetic confidence is a brand strategy? When you're not sure if the person you're texting wants you or wants your audience? Some creators admit they only date others in the industry now. It's easier. There's no need to explain, no need to hide. They understand the stigma. They share the spotlight. But what about everyone else? The boyfriend who can't handle the comments, the girlfriend who can't compete with the DMs, the lovers who want connection, not competition. Because when desire becomes public, jealousy becomes performance art. And privacy becomes a negotiation. We are not just seeing a new business model. We are watching the birth of a new archetype, the erotic entrepreneur. And with her comes a new logic. Monetize everything, even longing, especially longing. And maybe that's not entirely new. Courtesans were influencers, pinups were marketing tools, desire has always been monetized. But what's different now is the scale, the accessibility, the algorithm. And the question it raises, is this empowerment or is it just capitalism with better lighting? Because when you start performing desire for money, where does performance end? Do you ever clock out? Do you ever get to be off screen, off brand, off guard? And deeper still, what happens when your value is measured by who wants you? Not who knows you, not who respects you, not even who loves you, but who wants to pay to see you. There's power in that, but there is danger too, because once you monetize desire, you start optimizing for it. You start chasing likes over love, clicks over connection, fetish over feeling. And slowly, your self-worth becomes the subscription metric. But here's the paradox. It's not just the creators who are selling. It's the viewers too. They're selling their attention, their fantasies, their hope that someone on the screen sees them, knows them, maybe even that. It's not porn. It's parasocial desire. And both sides feel alone. So we come back to the question, what if desire is your new resume? What if your value isn't what you do, but in who wants you? And how well you perform attraction? And how many strangers you can hypnotize into subscribing? Would you cultivate your seduction? Would you refine your static? Would you trade your mystery for monetization? And what happens if your appeal fades, if the market changes, if the audience moves on? Does your resume expire when your body does? Or do we build new skills, new roles, new ways of being visible that aren't just about being wanted? Because this trend isn't isolated, it's connected to the collapse of traditional work, to the rise of the creator economy, to the idea that our lives should be leveraged, that everything, every angle, every opinion, every desire should serve the algorithm. Even our bodies, even our longing, even our love. So where does it end? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe we evolve. Maybe we invent new boundaries, new archetypes, new ways of being both sensual and sovereign. Maybe we stop asking if it's right or wrong and start asking what it reveals. Because prophetism isn't about judging the future, it's about decoding it. And what OnlyFans shows us is that intimacy is no longer private, desire is no longer sacred, and beauty is now a business plan. So ask yourself, what part of you is performing? What part of you is selling? And what part of you is slowly disappearing behind the curtain of the brand? Are you watching or being watched? And in the economy of desire, which are you more afraid of, being unseen or being truly seen? Drop a thought in the comments. Even a single sentence, your voice adds dimension to the silence we're exploring. If this struck something inside you, subscribe or sit with it a little longer. And if you're curious about the visuals, they're part of the world I've been building beyond the screen. You can see more of my work at TOMAAS.com. This is part of the TOMAAS prophecies, cinematic essays that don't just reflect the world, but read between its fractures. Through layered visuals and emotional pattern recognition, we practice prophetism, a new way of seeing. Here, art isn't decoration, it's intel. It translates what we haven't yet learned to name. Because by the time everyone understands the shift, it's already happened.